Hey guys, it's Jamie with Thoughtful Horsemanship again. We are working with Dandy. She is a 7-year-old grade mare, not handled until about a couple months ago, and then she got turned out to pasture for a couple other reasons and brought back in. So, um, we're just starting kind of back over, just seeing what she remembers. And so today I'm working with the whip, and just seeing how she handles that, seeing how she, um, likes it or doesn't like it, and there you can kind of see she just kind of moves over. She's not horrible. It was really windy that day that I did this, and so you can see her tail is really kind of blowing, um and just so there's a lot going on other than just me working with her. And you can see I'm going back to just basics where I'm standing there waiting for her to just lick and chew, take a breath, anything to kind of give me a sign that she's okay with what we did. By her moving over just a little bit the first time I did it, that tells me she's not, and so that's why I did it the second time. I did speed it up a little bit so that we're not sitting here for um 20 or 30 minutes watching the whole video, because it does get long, especially when we're waiting for them to sit there and lick and chew and kind of process what we worked on. And so some other things to look for too is looking at their face and watching their facial expressions. A lot of these horses, if they're really internalizing things, they will have other body signs, like they'll hold their mouth really tight. Their eyes will be real tight. Sometimes they'll shut their eyes and try to just squint you out and say you don't exist. Some horses will also throw their head up in the air and be real tight through their neck and their chest, um, which is another sign. Another sign as well is they get a worry line along their belly. Some of them get a worry line in their face where they hold everything really tight, not only purse their lips, but when they purse their lips really tight, they get this line going up the side of their face. And not all of them do that, but some of them there do. And there you can see she kind of licked and chewed, took a couple steps back, and then lowered her head. And so I'm going to go on the other side, do it again. Same thing. And there you can see she was a lot better. She didn't move off. I petted her a little bit. I'm not real big on treats, but I will give them positive reward and pet them and let them know that they did a good job. Especially, like, I'll tell them, talk to them verbally, because they read that as well. And so same thing. I'm just going to wait for her on this side, drop her head, lick her lips, that sort of thing. There, she finally licks her lips. And one of these I'm going to have to try to do a close-up of her facial expressions. And so here I'm going up on top of the on top of the fence. This gets them used to seeing somebody up above them. You can pony from another horse. You can climb up on top of a fence. And the last time I did this, she was really worried about this. And so I decided to do it again, include it in this video. And so I'm just going to kind of sit here and work with her a little bit, getting her to take a couple steps forward. She's a lot worse on her right than she is her left. But you can see she's being curious. You can see she's kind of smelling of me. And I'm going to let her do that. I'm not going to dissuade her from that. That's just curiosity. You don't want to take the curiosity out of a horse. You want to leave that in, because that's what helps them to be able to not be so spooky. If you let them be curious and they realize something's not going to hurt them, that will go a lot further. They'll have a lot more try in the long run, versus if you don't allow them to do that. And it's not like she was coming after me to smell my knees or smell me and, be rude or pushy or try to bite me or anything like that. She was just genuinely curious. And so honestly, I I used to push everything out of a personal space and out of my bubble, and now most horses I find that they honestly want to smell your hand or they want to be curious and that sort of thing. And there you see she really went to yawning. She really just big yawns, not just licking her lips, but just really big yawns. And I just kind of let her sit there and keep doing that because that was huge for her. That was a big step. That is not something that she normally does. And so I really wanted to reward that. And so that's when I decided, we were going to be done. And so here I'm just kind of asking her to bend her head a little bit, not asking her to move her feet. And so she struggled with that at first. And you can see there she went, bent her head, kept her feet straight or standing still. She didn't move her feet. And there she yawned again, licked her lips. I kind of waited to see what else she had going on for a second. And then I went back to the other side. This mare loves to move her hips over when I don't ask her to. I think a lot of it is just confusion, not knowing what's going on. So that's a big thing that she needs a lot more work with. You can see she bent it a little bit. I rewarded. I'm not asking her to bend it all the way right away at first. This is not something I've done with her in the past, so I'm going to start slow, ask for just, the corner of her eye, and try to get a little bit at a time. And so if she moves and moves her feet, I'm going to keep moving with her. So that's all I'm doing. She moves, I'm moving. She moves, I'm moving. You can see I'm not got a whole lot of pressure on the lead. Just a little bit. And there she gave a little bit, so I'm going to release. But then I'll ask again. And the reason this is important is because it's going to be important in the saddle. The better they can flex on the ground, the better they can do it in the saddle, the better your steering will be. You have to get this on the ground before you get it under the saddle. And I think a lot of times people don't always realize that. So get your steering, get your flexion, get that all good on the ground before you do it under saddle. And that'll save you a lot of heartache and a lot of issues in the long run. So all I'm waiting for, like I did with the other side, is just kind of waiting for her to lick her lips or take a deep breath or something like that. And obviously, clearly, she can bend her head around. She just did. She just kind of checked me out. So we know it's possible. And I think here, at times, she just kind of closes her eyes and tunes me out, tries to say, you're not there, you don't see me. And then she comes back to reality. And that is just her. She does that. She used to do a lot, and I think she's starting to be a little bit more open, and realize that it's not so bad to have somebody handling and working with her. She gets distracted very easily, just like a colt. And so if you have questions, make sure you ask. Thanks.